instructions. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you here is custom instructions. So if you click on the three-dot hamburger menu next to your name, you have a box for custom instructions. And these custom instructions basically allow you to not have to repeat the same sort of thing in the prompt all the time. So it says, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? And so I gave it a little mini biography of who I am, what I've written about, what I've done. Also where I live, Silicon Valley, right? So it can bring in examples related to things that I might have experienced living in the Silicon Valley. And then there's also a box for how would you like ChatGPT to respond? I'm not currently using that one, but this is more about how do you want to be addressed? Should it have opinions on certain things, etc. Now, the one downside, I think, as an agency, if you use this, because you have different clients and they might all want a different tone or sort of different custom instructions, this may not be that useful to you because these custom instructions, they are for your whole ChatGPT account and they will apply to any future chats that you instantiate with the system. But that's right there. So, and that's available both on the paid and the free plans. So try that out. The next one I want to show you is go to settings and beta. To get beta access, you do have to be in the premium plan. So you have to pay your $20 a month, but then you get some beta features. So one of them, as Niels was mentioning, was plugins. And the other one is advanced data analysis, also known sometimes as code interpreter. Now let me, so you turn these on and then you go back, you have to be in GPT-4. And then plugins, you click the plugins right there. And then you enable which plugins you want. So I've installed a few of them. They do various things. If you go all the way to the bottom of that list, there's a whole plugin store. And so you can start searching on here for the various things that it can do. And like Niels again was saying, one of the plugins would be like a web scraper. So you can say, go and look at this web page and summarize it or find me some keywords for it. Because as you all know, the large language model is based on data prior to 2021. So if you ask it like, what is this blog about that I wrote last week? It's going to make a pretty good guess just from the title of the URL and the title that it sort of assumes then is for the blog post, but it's not actually going to be able to read what your blog post is. Any plugins that you particularly like, Niels?
For this concrete example, I like both the link reader and the web pilot. They're very good at accessing third-party data if you install them.
Link reader,
or maybe the link reader. Maybe they renamed it again.
Yeah.
You search for web pilot. Web pilot. There you go.
Right. So browse web page and PDF data.
Right.
So yeah, and some of these new plugins they get launched. So Microsoft had one, so you could do a search on Bing, but then that got pulled back because it found that it was like a great scraping tool, and that wasn't the intent. So to make sure the copyright was protected, they've pulled that one back while they sort of rework some of the privacy settings. So anyway, these are plugins, and then once you have a plugin, so okay, let's make sure we turn on Web Pilot, and Niels, give me an example of what you might want to do with Web Pilot. So you can run up to it at the same time. So I'm going to turn this on.
Right. So actually, one of the scripts I'm currently creating is a script that pulls the search terms that your ads are being shown for, and then it'll ask GPT, how would you improve the copy on the landing page for these search terms? So we have a list of search terms, and you have a landing page URL, and then you ask GPT, how would you improve the copy on the landing page?
So I'm asking, how would you improve the landing page copy of optimizer.com? I mean, what you're explaining obviously relies on writing a little script to pull the search terms from Google Ads first, and then it feeds them into this plugin. By the way, do the plugins work in the API?
No.
GPT API? They don't, right?
No. So this concrete example requires me to first fetch the HTML of the landing pages and then feed the HTML as part of the prompt. But that is, maybe a bit too technical to go into the details. But in theory, what should happen now is that GPT calls on Web Pilot to actually scrape the website, optimizer.com. And then...
So it seems to be currently a little bit stuck. So we're going to ask it what is on the URL, optimizer.com. So yeah, unfortunately, ChatGPT does hit its limits. Okay, now it is actually using WebPilot, so you can expand that box to see what it's doing. It's still generating. Okay, boom. So there you have the content of that page, and then it uses its large language model to summarize what is on that page. Even includes a nice little image that was on the page. So that's pretty cool. So that basically connects GPT's capabilities to what is on the web today, as opposed to what's in a large language model from a couple of years ago. Awesome. Let's do another thing. Let's use the different plugin. I'm going to start a new chat for this, and we have to use GPT-4 again, but this time I'm going to use the advanced data analysis. So one example here, well, one important thing is you can upload files. So generally what you would do is you would download a data file, say all of your keywords or all your search terms from Google Ads, and then you can upload that as a structured data file. I don't think I have any connected here on this computer, but then with that, you can write Python code. And so we can talk to it in normal language, but can you write a script that draws a chart of CPC costs? It'll probably then tell me something along the lines of, yeah, but I do need some data for that. And actually gives me a step-by-step breakdown of how that would work. Right. Now, what's interesting is in that work itself, you can open that up and that shows the Python code. So you can copy and paste that Python. And you can actually run it on your own system if you wanted to. But the other nice thing is you don't have to run it on your own system. It'll just run it inside of GPT.